Welcome back to Alliance War. It's Season 40, War 6, for Loki is facing next. And, yeah, I've been having a terrible, terrible season. And so, in order to get myself back on track, I am going to get back to basics. I'm going to go to what I know. My best seasons in War have been on the back of Miguel. And so, this war, I'm bringing back Miguel to try and get my ass back on track from what has otherwise been a horrific season. So I'm going to be bringing Miguel, his jockstrap, and Magneto. That's the plan. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started. Yep, my champs don't benefit, I know. And we're going to start off here with this Mordo on path 6A. Note, I added the game sounds in as a soundtrack for you lovely people. But anyway, Mordo is absolutely garbage versus Spider-Man 2099 because the Wither completely shuts off his power gain. So all I'm going to do is build up some ruptures. I'm going to evade, and I'm going to attack. And that is the plan. And I got to tell you, when I did this fight, I felt pretty good. I felt like I was making the right sort of responses, that the inputs were being read correctly by the game, and it was exactly what I wanted to do. And so I felt really good after this fight. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get through a war without dying. That's the hope. So we'll end it on the fancy heavy. Again, that's just style points. And we're going to go to this Misty on 19. Now, I've never faced Misty with Magneto, even though she's metal, that I can recall. I faced her a bunch with Omega. But this is my first time with Mags, and there was some chatter in the For Loki Officer chat about using a white Magneto instead of a red Mags because of she'll go, immune once you knock her down. And I was like, red Mags will be fine, because my hope was, and it's borne out in this fight, that the protection would not come back, and that is true. So I knock her down once, get rid of protection, and then now I'm just beating her to death with Mags. She does get one evade in, which is weird, but, it's only a 70% ability accuracy reduction, so whatever. And then the other component was just sort of like making sure that I got the timing down to Dex her SP1 and avoiding her SP2, which I have no real practice in dexing. This one I do, and the fight goes down really smoothly. And so, who needs White Nito when you've got the good old boy taking care of everything for you? Right, fellas? Right. And we'll finish it in style once again with a special 3. All right. Time to move on to Section 2. First up on Node 24, they put a Sasquatch, Miguel, as we should all hopefully understand and know by this point, is a hard counter to Sassy. The exhaustions prevent the wrath charges from building, which means that there's no reduction to damages. Now, this fight was weird. I did feel like my inputs were sticking a little bit. I wasn't getting the dexes that I wanted to, and I thought the AI was being particularly passive. My Wither is actually going to fall off, and so I will have to build back up to a special 2. I mean, but it happens. So when it falls off, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do here? And this alternate plan is to just heavy. Keep those exhaustions up on him to keep messing with his kit until you get the power that you need to get back to the special 2. I did put on science boosts for this fight because I have a bunch of other Miguel fights coming. So, nice little power back on it. And now the AI cooperates a little bit more so I can build my ruptures. I did max out Despair for Miguel, just because I don't want to deal with regen for many of these characters. So, all right, next up on path 2B, we have a Mojo. Mojo is always a fun fight because you never know what kind of AI you're going to get. You never know what RNG is going to do. This particular Mojo was aggressive. I did punish that heavy because I felt I had the spacing right. There's other heavies here that I do not try to punish because there's a very small window where you can punish this heavy. Otherwise, you're going to end up getting parried yourself. Here I counter heavy in the corner, which is always fun. But yeah, I mean, getting backed up right away, never fun against Mojo, but it ultimately will be fine. I'll throw that special 2, do massive damage, get some space on the fight map. See, I don't punish that heavy. And then, you know, just a little bit more tender loving care from Miguel will finish this dude off. So that's great. All right. Now you know that when I really need to pick me up, I need a Miguel Peni fight. This is the EMP mod node that doesn't really apply to Miguel because he doesn't gain buffs. And yeah, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I've fought Peni a ton with Miguel. So I'm going to speed this nonsense up because it takes a while and it's pretty boring. All you really do is just hit block when the shield goes down, try to get in some damage. It's, you know, it's really not that exciting. But it does feel good to sort of get back to a champ that I know really well, know exactly what I want to do, know how to alter my plan if things go awry, like in the Sasquatch fight. So it's a good confidence builder. All right, finally up, not finally, but next to last on 46, we have this rank 5 infamous Iron Man or iDoom. I'm going to be using Magneto, who shuts off a great deal of the node. I do mess up here at the very beginning. Yep, and I lose a big chunk of health there. I was just mad at myself for being stupid. The key to fighting iDoom is just getting real comfortable dexing his SB1, and on here, all we're going to be doing is just spamming special ones and baiting his special ones. And so this ends up being a pretty long fight, but it ends up being a very safe fight. And so, yeah, not really much to say here. I think Magneto is probably one of several good options here. I think we sent Gallants here that have been perfectly fine. But yeah, it's good because it counters the regen and shuts off a lot of the stuff. So yeah, there we go. Magneto beating iDoom. All right, my final fight this war is a Mangog on 54. This is another historic placement in the sense that Mangog is almost always there. I always like to begin this fight by getting up 3 exhaustions. I do start with a PS1 just that way I can get to my special 2 for a second wither. And with 3 exhaustions and 2 withers, he's going to have we're going to be reversing his power gain effects. And so he's just going to be rupturing constantly. And so this fight is over right now. It's just hasn't finished yet, but functionally, Mangog can't do anything. There's no threat of him getting to a special 2, which is the only danger of this node. In fact, he won't even throw another special 1 because he won't have enough power to do so. But yeah, 7 fights, all solos, a rare event in the world of Clown this season. It feels good to get out of a war without dying, and hopefully we can start a trend for the back half of the season with a clean slate. It would be nice, but we're going to do this one fight at a time, one war at a time, until we get, our confidence back and we get back on track. So thanks for stopping by, and I will see you all in the next life, Jack.